Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me once again. So, I want to respond to something that's very, very disturbing. As you all know, there was a No Kings a protest over the weekend, and yeah, it was pretty wild. It was pretty crazy. We had the same thing here in Cleveland, Ohio. Although I didn't witness it necessarily. I heard it on the news, but I didn't like go outside and see it or anything like that. At least for the most part, I didn't see it in its full fruition, if you will. But I'm fine with that. I didn't really want to focus on it anyway. But anyway, I want to respond to a video that I just saw here, and I'm gonna see if I can show you guys this video from this article in reference to a. This took place in Broadview, Illinois, and it's in reference to a an adult holding up a figurine of Donald Trump during this No Kings rally, No Kings protest rally, whatever you want to call it. He's holding up a figurine of President Donald Trump, and he's inviting people to assault this figurine. And what appears to be a child comes out of nowhere and has some kind of rod or something. I don't know if it's an expandable baton, police baton, or what, or some kind of blade. And he begins to hit the figurine, just assault it, and then he starts stabbing it. And everybody was, people's applauding and so forth. And this is very, very disturbing. So I'm going to let you guys listen in on some of the audio. Perhaps, hopefully, you'll be able to see some of the stuff here because the screen on my smartphone is very small. And I'm going to read some of the comments, I believe, from a state representative on what they believe this is leading to. And it's really common sense, really, when you really look at it and think about it. It's clear what that's leading to. It's clear what that is, how that is influencing this young child. It's clear. But let's get right into this. This is just really bad. No Kings protesters in Broadview, Illinois were seen over the weekend celebrating a child smacking and stabbing a figurine depicting President Donald Trump, a move Senator Mike Lee said is how, quote, assassination culture takes root. The protesters were outside of an immigration and customs enforcement facility in Broadview. According to reports, a man offered a stick to protesters to bash the figurine. Quote, "Sir, do you want to swing?" he asked, trying to find someone in the crowd willing to hit the figurine. Finally, a child took the stick and can be seen in the video smacking and stabbing the Trump figurine. "Take a swing, buddy, take a swing," the man said, handing the child the stick. And so let's get right into this. Let's see if you guys can see this.
All right, bring it on. Let's go. Absolutely.
Can't see it.
Take a swing, buddy. Take a swing. Oh, shit. Yeah, get his body. Get his body. Nice. All right. All righty. Who's next?
Yeah, that was kind of, it's hard to really see. Hard to really see the fruition of that, but you could probably see an image of it, but you can see the little boy. Let me see if I can give you guys a closer look here. This is pretty sad. Sad, but maybe I shouldn't even say sad. I'm going to say this is disturbing. They're very disturbing. Not sad, disturbing. And let me read this quote. It says, get his body, nice." The agitator explained as the boy's actions generated claps and cheers from onlookers. "This isn't funny. This is how assassination culture takes root," Senator Mike Lee observed, asking Democrats to condemn such behavior, which is interesting how that he's asking Democrats to condemn such behavior. And I don't know if Democrats or any has actually condemned this kind of behavior. But it's interesting because when Trump was in office, they were always, Democrats and politicians were always asking Trump to condemn white supremacy, and Trump would repeatedly condemn white supremacy. And yet they would come right back to him and ask him again, condemn white supremacy, condemn the KKK. And Trump would repeatedly, I would hear it out of his own freaking mouth, he would condemn white supremacy. He would condemn the KKK. He would do it over and over and over again. And they would keep asking the same dumb question. And I'm pretty sure that when Democrats, or the radical Democrats, the communists, saw this figurine being attacked by this little boy and stabbed and hit and assaulted, if you will, that they didn't condemn it. I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they did. But let's go on. Let's go on, man. It's very disturbing. This comes as political violence has dominated the political conversation, particularly following the horrific public assassination of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. Yeah, we that's going to always keep popping up. It's going to always keep popping up because it was tragic, it was horrible, and this is not the end, and people need to be aware of that. Let's read on. The No Kings protest did, in fact, attract leftists who were seemingly okay celebrating such violence. One woman went viral after she was caught on video openly mocking the assassination of Kirk at a, quote, No Kings protest over the weekend. She has also been accused by social media users of being an elementary school teacher in Chicago, Illinois. Of course, and this is what Breitbart News reports. As Breitbart News reported, quote, in the video, the woman is seen, and I don't have a. Well, wait a minute. I might have a video of it. In the video, the woman is seen repeatedly placing her index finger and thumb to her neck in what appeared to be the miming of a gun being fired while seemingly mouthing the word bang. That's horrible. The woman's hand gesture appeared to mock the assassination of Kirk, with one social media user stating that the person recording the video was in a truck displaying a flag in support of Turning Point USA founder. So let's see if you guys can see this.
Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic, you fat ass?
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic, you fat ass?
Let me try it again. Hold on.
Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic, you fat ass?
Yeah, it was kind of quick and kind of blurry there. Hopefully you could see most of it. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna read to you guys, because I can't stomach much more of that. But you get the gist of what this is producing, what this is perhaps producing, what this is perhaps encouraging, as their representative has said. Whether the representative was a Republican or Democrat, I don't know, even though the representative did want Democrats to condemn this, he may have been what I would consider a moderate Democrat. But at any rate, yeah, that's pretty insane. That's pretty sick. And here's what one of the things that bothers me about this is the fact that it's bad enough when you have politicians and teachers in the schools and politicians in politics encouraging this radical behavior. That's bad enough. But when you have on the ground, feet on the ground, boots on the ground individuals in these protests encouraging these kids to literally get out here, little children, okay, to get out here and take some type of a handle or rod or whatever and strike the figurine of an individual that they don't like, that they're being radically brainwashed to hate, that's even more disturbing, in my opinion. Because I expect these liberals, these far left radicals and communists in our institutions to do this type of stuff. That's what they're trained to do. That's what they do. They said they were going to do it. That's what they're trained to do. But when you have people out here like this man here encouraging a little child, he should have said, wait a minute, I don't want no kid doing this. Wait a minute, I don't want no kid. But he couldn't do that. He was so angry and so hateful towards Trump that when this child decided to take up the act, he didn't rebuke the child. He didn't say, no, son, go sit down somewhere. He didn't do that. He encouraged him to just hit, and then the boy started stabbing it. That is very, very disturbing. This is the environment that we're in. This is the environment that we're in. You would think that after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, people would wake up, but they're not. They're not going to wake up. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because you have people like this man here, whom I'm being really moderate when I call him a man, because technically he's a demon in human flesh, as far as I'm concerned. He's the embodiment of a demon, an avatar for demons to indwell, to enrage and invoke innocent minds to commit acts of violence against people who have a different opinion, a different view. Because that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. That's really what it's all about. I mean, really, at the end of the day, think about it, man. Think at the end of the day, when you really think about it, what is, and I'm talking about thinking about it, you know, what is it that Trump is doing that got people so mad and enraged? If I could just sit down and just talk to some of these people, if they would be willing to listen, they're not going to be willing to listen. That's why I don't actually talk to them. But just for hypothetically speaking, if I was to sit down and talk to any of these people that have been radicalized and have Trump derangement syndrome, let's just sit down and talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this. What is it in terms of Trump's policies that he's doing that got you so take him out? What is it? I guarantee you they couldn't give me a legit answer. They can't say he's sending the military into a lot of these, the National Guard into a lot of these cities. They could say that, but at the end of the day, I've seen video after video after video after video of black people, people of color, praising Trump for it. In places like Memphis and Chicago and other places, they're praising Trump. All the people that are not praising Trump for it is the far left radicals and protesters and the Democratic, basically socialist / communist politicians. Them the only ones got a problem with it. It's the leaders that got a problem with it. The regular people don't have a problem with it. And yet, these people, if I was to sit and talk to them and say, let's just have a reasonable talk, a discussion about this, man. We need to talk about this. What is it in terms of his policies that's so detrimental that you feel the need to have a figurine up and ask someone to strike the figurine and beat it and all the rest and stab it, and it to the point where a little child, a child, man, an innocent child, partakes in this act? They could not give me a legit answer. I guarantee you they couldn't give me a legit answer. Which would lead to the question is, okay, now that you can't give me a legit answer, why do you think you're thinking the way you're thinking? Why do you think you're feeling the way you're feeling? Where did that come from? Did you wake up one morning and say, oh, I can't stand Trump. I want to do horrible harm to him and all of those who support him. Roar. Did you wake up feeling that way, or did someone put that in your head? Think about it. That's what I would say to them. But they wouldn't do it. You know, they wouldn't do it. But just speaking hypothetically, we're in dangerous times. And I hate to be someone who provokes fear. I don't like provoking fear. I believe personally that God is in control, and that at the end of the day, all it is part of a divine plan for God, which is going to end in a good way for those that believe in Christ, who will put their faith in Christ. But anyway, that's another story, and I digress. But yeah, this is the environment we're living in, man. This is the environment we're living in. And when you have people like this that are provoking little children like this, that's the worst kind of person that you could be around. I don't know if this man is a parent. I don't know. I don't know if he's a parent. I don't know. It's clear from the video that I saw that he was not related to that young boy. It's clear. But yet, I have to ask the question, is this man a parent? Would he want his son or daughter to act that way? And like the representative said, the politician said, you know, this could lead to assassinations and so forth. These are some of the things that lead to assassination. Is that possible? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. People don't wake up in the morning, like I said earlier, wake up in the morning and say, hey, I want to take out somebody because I don't like them. I want to unalive somebody because I don't like them. That's very, very rare. If somebody gets up in the morning and wakes up feeling that way, then they're demon possessed. Bottom line, a demon got in them and they just got, and I'm not, and I don't mean that sarcastically. I don't mean that jokingly. I mean that literally, because I do believe that demons exist. I believe that we are living in a very demonized society that's becoming more and more demonic as we go on. I do believe in the spiritual realm, the realm that you don't see is influencing and manipulating the realm that you do see. And people need to wake up to that reality. And when you open yourself up, when you open your mind and your spirit up to these evil forces, they will take over and cause people to act in a way that is completely irrational, like this man was doing. And that same spirit is getting into that little boy. Now, who's to say that's not going to lead to something detrimental? And I guarantee you the mainstream punk liberal media is going to cover it up or belittle it or marginalize it or just kind of like, amp it down a little bit to make it seem like it's not that severe. It's not that serious. But let one of their own be attacked or even arrested. Oh my God, it's the end of the world for them, right? See, this is the stuff. This is the world we're living. This is the country we're living in. We are so divided on so many different issues, man. It's hard to sit and talk in a rational way with people that have these kind of beliefs. It really is, which is one of the reasons why I don't try to have rational conversations with them, because they're simply not going to listen. I told you all that before. I don't bother, man. I don't bother. I pray for them, but that's it. Lord, you destroy the yoke in their life. I'm not trying to destroy the yoke in their life. I'm 50. I'm too old for that. I'm too old to be trying to help people destroy the yoke. If that person not willing to listen, then I'm not going to, I may not be the brightest person on the block, but I'm certainly not the dumbest. I'm certainly not the dumbest. And I'm not going to sit up here and waste time. But anyway, I wanted you guys I wanted to respond to that because I agree with that politician. I do believe that is leading up to assassinations, is leading up to is building a culture among young people like that that's going to be radicalized. That's opening their mind and their spirit up to things that are just detrimental to their lives, detrimental to them, but also detrimental to other people. And it's so sad, man. It's just so sad. It's just so sad. But I wanted to respond to that, and I don't know, what do you guys think about this? I mean, this is just completely insane, and there's no way to justify this, man. There's no way to justify there's no way to justify. Somebody later said, as the video said, as the article said, some people were cheering and so forth, and if you could hear some of the people cheering and so forth, those people's minds are gone, in my opinion. Their minds are gone. They're gone. They've been brainwashed completely. Only God will be able to deliver them. Knowledge and understanding is not going to help them. God has to get into God has to purge their mind. They're gone. It's like, it's like, what's there left? What else is left? What else is left in a society that's so radicalized like that they have no ability to love, no ability to show compassion, no ability to show any kind of kindness? It is, in my opinion, bringing up a culture of young people who will be willing to do anything to eradicate the opposition. And that's the world we live in. So, that's it. That's all I wanted to say about that. What do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.